Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are healthy and safe and doing well. Today I wanted to share a number of tips with you for staying organized, keeping it together, and staying sane during this time. These are things that I've been doing that have really helped me. The first one I think is really important, but in doing this, we need to give ourselves grace. And that is setting a new routine, a new schedule. We don't have to be perfect because we're all adjusting to different and new things, and everyone's at home and life can be very different for most of us. So I think it's important to try to create a new normal with your routine and your schedule. I know at first it felt like, okay, what do I do with myself and everything? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I still have to work. I need to have a routine. So I had to switch it up and make sure that I had some type of structure, but I also gave myself grace because we're dealing with a lot of emotions right now. A lot of you are trying to homeschool your kids and maybe they normally are at school. A lot of you are working from home, or you're trying to do all of those things. So I think working on a new routine will really help you, but don't expect yourself to be perfect. Along with that, I think it's really important to get dressed every day. There's nothing wrong with wearing comfortable clothing, and sometimes I'm wearing leggings and sometimes I'm wearing loungewear, and I think that that is okay because we are at home and we aren't really seeing a whole lot of people unless you make YouTube videos or you're a social media influencer. You really aren't seeing a whole lot of people, and I think it's okay to be comfortable, but if you feel like you're more productive if you get dressed and brush your hair and put on some makeup, then do that. Especially if you're working right now, maybe comfortable pants and a nice top or sweater and fixing your hair and makeup will make you feel a little bit more like you're in the zone, like you're in the zone to work. So I find that it really helps me to get dressed, brush my hair, curl it a little bit, and put on some makeup because I just feel a whole lot better and I feel more productive. One thing that I'm working on is trying to go to bed and get up at the same time that I was, because one of these days this will all be over and we have to go back to normal life. And I have found that I've been staying up way late and getting up a little later, and I think that's okay at first. I do think it's good if we can stay with that type of routine, and I'm working on that. I'm like, okay, I just need to go to bed. Even if I don't really have to get up that early, I really need to just go to bed and get up at the same time because it will be so much easier to transition into regular life. I've talked about this a lot, and I still think it's incredibly important, especially during this time, and that is to practice gratitude. I have a gratitude journal and I have been doing it for over a year, and I do it every day, and I have found that it really changes your perspective. And right now, when there's so much negativity and it can be scary, and I don't want to go on and on about the negative, but it's really important to look at some of the positive things. It will help you when you go throughout your day to think of the positive things. Maybe it's a silly joke that your kid said, or just little things like that. You had an extra hour to bake or extra time to make a really great meal or play a game with your kids or whatever it might be. Just think about the things that you are grateful for. So I journal 10 things every day, and I try to switch it up. Instead of just saying my husband, my house, my family, whatever, I try to think of really specific little things, and it does really change your attitude and your perspective. One thing that is really important to do is to get some exercise. I am a gym person 100%, and it is not the same working out at home, and I so miss going to the gym. But we do have weights and machines here that we can use, and we actually were able to get them from Craigslist before we were told that we had to stay in our houses pretty much all the time except for food and emergencies. So we got that a little while ago and it was perfect timing. So we have all of the equipment, but there are so many things that you can do to get exercise. There's tons of videos and just, I mean, I started running up and down the stairs because I felt like I really needed some cardio. Along with that is, if you are able and allowed, go outside for some fresh air, go for a walk if you are allowed to. I know most of us are allowed to go outside. Of course, I am all for staying at home and keeping your distance, but like I said, we can go outside and not be around people, and I think it feels so nice to get some fresh air. We had some cold days, so I wasn't able to get outside, and hopefully tomorrow, I'm recording this on Tuesday, hopefully tomorrow it will be nice and warm and I can go for a run or a jog or maybe a walk with John later, or maybe both, I don't know, but it just feels so good to get outside, get some fresh air, and just be out of our house a little bit. We have all probably said that we wished we had more time to do X, Y, and Z. We've all wanted more time to organize, to work on projects, and we have time right now. We can go at all of those organizing projects, and it's starting to get nicer outside, so cleaning up the yard, cleaning out the garage, cleaning out your car. You don't want to put a lot of pressure on yourself, but it is great to use your time, especially if you are at home and you are bored. You can use that time in a productive way, and it will feel really great when this is all over to have a nice clean garage, a cleaned up yard, and an organized home. So maybe make a list for yourself of different projects that you want to get to, and now we have the time. I wanted to throw a few fun things in and give you some ideas for ways to spend extra time that can be really enjoyable. I love to cook and bake, and I've noticed that over the last couple of years I haven't baked as much as I used to. And so last weekend I baked some blueberry muffins and I made stromboli, and I loved it, and it really helped me to get my mind off of things. So now's a great time to try out new recipes. I have tons of them. I'll put my playlist below. Bake some treats. Most of us have the ingredients for basic things to bake, or you could just get really creative. Another thing that you can do with your time is to take a class on Skillshare. This video is not sponsored. I have mentioned Skillshare tons of times and I love so many of the classes. I've learned a lot about different things that I'm interested in, like houseplants. They have different courses on photography. So if you're interested in a certain thing and you want to learn more about it, you can check it out. I'll leave my link below, and it's good for 2 free months free. So I want to take a course in some type of art. I love art, and I took a lot back in high school a million years ago, but I don't make as much time for it. The sun is like blaring in here, so hopefully it's not bleaching me out. But anyway, I want to take some art classes from Skillshare and use this time to just have fun and be creative. This is a really practical thing that hopefully most of us are thinking about, but maybe with everything going on you forgot, and I just thought I would mention it. And that is to, even if you aren't going anywhere, start your car up, open up your garage and start your car up and let it run, because your battery can die if it goes for a long time without running. I actually had this happen, and my car is not, well, I just got a new car, but before this my car was only a couple of years old, and we were on vacation and didn't even think that my car that was newer would have a dead battery, but it did. So it's really important to start up your car so that it can work. I don't know tons about cars, but I know that we need to start them regularly or the battery can die, and we just don't want an extra thing to deal with once life is back to normal. So I just thought I would mention that. I love to read, as you guys know, and I know a lot of you do too, and the libraries are closed, and I was trying to figure out what to do because I was on my last book right when the library closed, and I was like, oh no, I don't have a book to read and I really want to have books to read. So I thought, well, I guess I'll just order some from Amazon, but I didn't really want to spend the money on books that I was only going to read once. And I'm sure a lot of you know this, but I am just not one to read on a screen. I always read from a actual book. So I saw that if you have Amazon Prime, you get Kindle app for free, and then a lot of the books are free. Some of them you do have to pay for, but there are a lot of options that are free. And I'm reading a really good book right now, and it was free, and it's called The Girl Who Lived. I forgot the author, but it's really good. I'll try to put it on the screen or put it in the description box below. It's a really good mystery. So that's an option, free entertainment. And if you are feeling stuck without the library, that's a great option. Another thing that I found to be especially important during this time is to limit the negative influence and limit our time watching the news. Of course, it's important to be informed, but if we have the TV playing on the news stations all day, every day, it can be way too much. I have to limit how much I take in and still be informed because it just affects me, and I just don't like to always listen to it. So we don't have our TV playing during the day, which we never do anyway, so that's a great thing. It's a great habit not to even turn it on. John is working from home, I'm working from home, and my oldest son, Christian, is working from home, and my boys are both here, and they are in college, and they're doing all of their schoolwork online. So we have things that we have to do, but even if you are off work and you can't work from home and you're just trying to find things to do, try to limit the news, try to limit the negativity, and that goes for things like Facebook and people who are being really negative, or political debates or things. You can snooze people or unfollow, or just not look on your Facebook feed, making sure that the people that you do follow are encouraging and positive. And none of us are perfect, and we are real people and have emotions, but for the most part, people who are being positive, encouraging, and helpful during this time are the people that you want to have influence you and who you let in, because it can be scary and it can be hard. So just limiting the negativity at this time is especially important. With that said, I do think it's really important to stay social. I am a people person. I like being around people, but I'm okay with being at home and not being around people all the time, but I do like to be around people. And I could really feel it on Sunday, not going to church and not going to the gym. I work from home, but I go to the gym every day, and so I see people and talk to them, and I can really tell it's hard not to be around people. So it's really important to be social. We're not seeing our friends right now. We're not seeing our extended family, our coworkers. So send a text or FaceTime or whatever you like to do. If you're a phone person, talk on the phone with them, but just check on people, see how they're doing, and be social in that way, because all of us need that interaction, and we can't see each other, but we can definitely send a text or call someone or send an email or a FaceTime to let them know that we're thinking of them, and it will benefit us too. So that is something that I've been trying to make sure that I do. I text with my family, my parents, and my friends. I know that this can be tough mentally and emotionally, so make sure that you're still connecting with people even if you can't see them. Along with being social and checking up on people, look for ways that you can help. It might just mean giving your neighbor who is older a call and seeing if they need anything when you run to the grocery store, and just putting it on their porch and letting them know it's there without you know, interacting with them. It could be donating if your job is not affected, if your income isn't affected. Also being thankful to the nurses and the doctors and all of the people who are working right now, praying for them if you pray, and just really doing our part, and that is staying inside. I'm not a nurse, I don't work in the medical field, and I feel sort of like I can't really do anything, but I know they just want us to stay inside and stay away from other people right now, and it will make their jobs a little bit easier, so we can do that and we can encourage them and we can be grateful for them. The last thing that I wanted to share, I touched on a little bit, and that is set mini goals for yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself right now. Don't expect perfection. Don't feel like you're gonna conquer every single thing on your list, but mini goals. So for me, I am trying to get back to going to bed at a reasonable time and getting up at a reasonable time. I'm trying to make sure that I still get my workouts in. I always work out 5 times a week, so I'm trying to make sure I keep up with that. And just some little mini goals, whatever it might be. Maybe make a list, like I mentioned, of house projects that you want to get to. Don't make it too overwhelming, but little goals, little things that you can work on will help you with your mindset, instead of just having, I know here we have 3 weeks where we can't go out, and that might get extended. So just having different things to work on, mini goals, will really help. I would love to hear from you, and I know so many people love to read the comments, so tell me what you're doing right now to help keep yourself together, stay sane, stay organized and productive. I just love hearing from you guys, but especially now when we're inside, it's really great to hear, and everyone has been so incredibly positive and encouraging, especially on Instagram. I'm on Instagram pretty much every day, so if you want to follow me there, you can, but I love interacting with you, and getting a little bit of social interaction through social media has been really beneficial, and so I've enjoyed that. So follow me over there if you would like. I hope you all are doing well, staying home, staying safe and healthy, and we'll make it through this, and I'll have some new videos coming your way.